everyone, it is Crystal here at Magnolia. I'm super excited to be here with you today. And today I'm going to be working with a new stencil, came out yesterday. It is the herb stencil. How many of you guys love this stencil, have big plans for it? I know I do, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. We are going to be making kind of a little garden basket with our herbs. We have some greenery here. Let me see if you can see that. So I have it kind of on some foam blocks. We're going to be working with the brand new mini tags. Did you guys get to see this? Have you worked with them yet? These come in a 12 pack. They're pre-painted front side and back side. And you get all of this cute little jute with it. One jute for each of the tags. So we're going to kind of make them into garden stakes, I want to call them. You know, when you're planting all of the herbs, you want to know, like, what did I plant? Where are they at? So we have some cool little popsicle sticks that I have. We're going to put the tags on the popsicle sticks and stick them into our little garden basket. And then I'm going to show you a neat way that you can use the 5x5 quads with them. Hey Norma! So I'm excited that you guys are jumping on and hanging out with me, and I'm ready to get started. I hope you guys are too. And throughout the live, I'm asking a bunch of questions about herbs. Do you use them? What do you use them in cooking-wise? Or do you use them in tea? How do you use your herbs? So what I want to do to get started is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to distress the two tags that we have that's going to go into the garden basket. So I have these super cute distressed ink oxidizers, all in different colors. You can find them on Amazon. And it's like a little ink pad. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rough up the sides, and we're going to make something very similar to this guy. We have our little bow here, and you can barely see the little distressed on there. I think that'll tie into our basket. So that's what I'm going to do first. And I'm just going to go around the sides, super easy and quick to use these things. We are almost done already. Now, here's how it looks. You guys can barely see that. And what did you say, Norma? Sorry, I didn't hear where the tags are from. We have the tags here at Magnolia, front and back side. The oxidizer here for the distressing is on Amazon. These are brand new tags, just released yesterday. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying them. All right, so we have this guy done. Now we have one more that I'm going to use for the basket. All right, and I'm just trying to give it a little bit of that farmhouse rustic feel to match the theme of our little basket here. You guys can see how rough it is and distressed. That's kind of what we're going to be using it for. All right, so now we have our little tags. So all three of them that we're going to use is set to go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the little bows. So how I make these with the jute is just like you're going to tie your shoe. I'll start with a loop kind of 3/4 in. I'll swoop it around my finger, come up through just like you tie your shoes, and I'm going to pull it really tight, and then you can kind of mess with it to see where your bows are, how big you want it, and then we'll trim the excess off of the little ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down here, seeing if we're a little bit similar to the other one, and we are. And now I'm going to put the ends together, and I'm just going to give it a good little snip so that they're even. I have my hot glue gun over here. Oh, I want that knot to be just a smidgen tighter. All right, and we have our little glue gun. I'm just going to put a little dot right above the little pre-drilled hole in the tag. And that's how we're going to attach the cute little bow to the top. I'm just going to let that sit for a second, and then I'll bring it up and show you guys. Hey Heidi, thanks! I think that you'll really like this one. All right, so we have our little bow here. and we put them on the little top of the tag to match our other. And we have one more that we're going to be doing. So about quarter in or so. Loop, swoop, and pull. I like to make that knot really, really tight. And then you can mess with the ears. Grab the excess down here. And you just finish with it until you like what you see. I think this is the easiest way I've ever done a bow. How about you guys? Super simple, but when adding it to a project, it makes it just a little bit more, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and snip the ends. Now we have our last one. I'm gonna go ahead and attach it, and then we'll get to the fun part. We'll put our little moss in here. So I mixed the moss. I found it at Dollar Tree and Walmart. So I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some of the darker shaggy moss that you see on the bottom just to kind of put a filler in place. And then I got this sweet moss from Walmart. And I have some foam blocks in here. So here's our last tag. I forgot to show you guys. So we have our basket here that we're going to be using. And I put some foam in the basket, and I got 2 of them. And then I have another foam block, you guys can see it here, that's just gonna go and tuck it on the inside to where you cannot see. And we're gonna gently put some of this moss in and out of here. What do you guys think? You could fluff it up to make it more filling. You could have it overhang off of the planter itself to give it that little actual green grass is kind of what I was trying to do here. A little herby going in there. And now we have our little moss basket. Okay, so we put the foam blocks in there, one, to fill the space. So you see how big this is. So the foam blocks go to about this line here, filled with moss. But the second thing is when we put the tags on with the popsicles, we want something to stick it down into and that they'll stay. So when we push them down, they're going to go right into the foam and they won't go anywhere. So I'm super excited to do that. And then on the front here, I was thinking, I don't have anything that says, I'm going to put this down. Hopefully my moss does not move too much. I have a little bit of chalk paste to help me out. I have nothing that says herb garden on it, but we did have the vegetable garden stencil. And what I want to do is use the word garden on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the stencil off before I get too much further. I should have done that before I put the moss in, but that's okay. It'll give me something to look at. And I know you guys can't see it right now while I'm working, but I will show you in just a moment. I want to make sure that I get all of the angles right on here. Hopefully we'll be in the middle of the bucket. Since the vegetable garden kind of goes side to side, it is a little difficult to be able to get the words in a straight line. So afterwards, if I don't like it, it's chalk paste. We can wash it off and like we never even did it. Or it could be the cutest thing, right? Got to think outside of the box sometimes. So I'm just smoothing it down. I want it pretty sticky on this beautiful little bucket. I picked this guy up at Walmart if anybody would like to know. And what I did is I went ahead and mixed some chocolate brown with some of the pumpkin spice. And I was hoping that I could get it, the color similar to the distressing on the bucket itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get started. I'm going to work really slowly. This beautiful design has so much detail in it, and I really just want the word garden. So I'm going to be super careful, because I'm usually like Speedy Gonzalez when it comes to this. I can see it, paste it, good to go, but I want to take my time here. All right, you guys can hear me scraping that paste across. We have the garden part done. Now we just have to do the big G. Now let's hope it turns out, fingers crossed. If not, we have some wipes over here and we could just simply wipe it off. I think it would be okay either way. So let's see how it does. I'm gonna come across here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Now, did you guys pick up your herb stencils? What are you planning to do with them? I have two projects planned for you on it today. One is this awesome basket that we're doing here for our herb garden. Our second one is going to be a hanger that you could use maybe in your kitchen. Okay, so I have the garden part done. Got that excess off. Now I'm going to go ahead and peel the stencil, and are you guys ready to see it? Let's see how it looks. Oh, I think it looked actually pretty darn good, guys. All right, you guys let me know what you think. I think it works. All right, let's turn it around and see. What do you guys think? I think it turned out really, really cool. Hey, Pam. Hey, Shelly. I think it looked actually really cool with it. I'm going to leave it. See if I can get a little bit closer. It worked. This is awesome. You know, you got to play with like the little angles a little bit on there. Hey, Grace. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to keep this in your guys' view for a minute, right off to the side so you guys can see the garden. And then, now the fun part. We're going to start working with our herbs. Now, do you guys cook with herbs? And if you do, which herbs do you cook with? Do you cook with like all of them? Right here I have the dill, basil, oregano, parsley, rosemary, and sage. And if you do, what do you cook with them in? I would say, you know, sage reminds me of Thanksgiving. We cook homemade stuffing, dressing is what we call it. And I use a lot of sage in there. My mom taught me how to do that. I love some oregano, basil, parsley. I'm thinking like meats and pastas, spaghetti, maybe some Italian. What do you guys use it in? I think dill could be like, maybe not so much cooking, but in some dips. Use dill in some, I would say like ranch and sour cream and dill for like carrots and vegetables. What do you guys think? What do you use them with? Rosemary potatoes, that sounds wonderful too. Oh, I might have to try those on the little fingerlings, huh? Fingerling potatoes, those would be really good. Now I'm already cutting all of these and I don't even know, I'm getting ahead of myself, super excited. So I have 6 of them here and we're gonna use all 6. So I'm gonna go finish cutting. So I almost messed up what I was gonna do. We're gonna use, I think, parsley, basil, and the oregano for the basket. And I'm gonna use the rosemary and dill and sage for the other part, for project number 2. So we're gonna have to put these to the side so I don't use them. And then we're gonna use the parsley, oregano, and basil. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with just basil. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on our tacky towel here. If it's your first time joining us, let us know. I'd love to say hello to you. And what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of removing a little bit of the stickiness since it's the first time I'm gonna be using these stencils. It's easier to get off of the surface without having to tug or stretch it. And I'm gonna go simply grab one of my tags, doesn't really matter which one I use right now, and I'm gonna do the basil. So I see where the little hole is on the top, and I see where my bottom is. So I'm gonna try to get it as straight as I can. Now I'm gonna smooth it down. You don't wanna see any bubbles within your design. You wanna have a good hard press to be able to stick that stencil down. Now I have a couple different colors I want to play with. I brought out the Magnolia green, I have the army green, we have a little bit of peppermint leaf over here, and we're going to mix and match kind of like a hot mess ombre mixture, I guess if you want to say something about that. And then I think the names is, we're going to just use black. I think black would make it pop. I already have a little bit of the brown distressing, so I was going to go with the black on this one. Would you guys use brown or would you use black? I'm going to go ahead and use black, but if you would use brown, let me know. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just play around with the darker color going over the basil. Do you guys love to play with colors? I love to play with colors. Mixing and matching and moving. Let's get some of the stem maybe in that darker. Okay, so we have a little bit of our dark color here. Now I'm going to bring in just a smidgen of the peppermint. A little various places here. And then I'm going to top it off and I'm going to blend them all together with the Magnolia green. And I'm just going to go smear it all the way down. And then I'm going to remove it here in just a second once we get everything off. Oh, I think it's going to look really good. Now I have to find a little washcloth. I have a baby wipe. Baby wipes are everything. You guys can tell I'm the messy crafter. I always have tons of them around because I am getting it everywhere. Okay, now I'm just going to go over the black, the word basil in black. Okay, here's our first one. Are you guys excited? Are you ready to see? Go ahead and peel it off. I think it looks so good. What do you guys think about our basil? I think that one turned out super, super cute. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for joining us. It's your first time here. Welcome in. Heidi said she would use black too. Thank you, Heidi. All right, now we're gonna move on while that one dries. We're gonna do the oregano. Now, oregano is a little bit lighter of an herb, not so dark. So I'm gonna use a little bit more Magnolia green and the army green here. But a little bit more Magnolia to make it a little lighter. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm gonna put this one on. I can get it straight. There we go. Let's see where we are. I'm going to replace that one. And since it's some of your guys' first time here, if you've never worked with our stencils before, these guys are reusable and you can peel and replace. So if you've ever worked with vinyl before, you know that that is not how you can do it. Here we make it super easy to be crafty. Okay, so I have it smoothed down. Now I'm going to go ahead, since I have black on the squeegee already, I'm just going to go ahead and do the word oregano. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my baby wipe here. And get all of that off. I have a couple more squeegees floating around here somewhere. Okay, now we're going to use the Magnolia green. I'm really going to use this in a lot of areas and then barely come in with the other color. And let's see how that looks. Let's get a little bit of the army green on here. I'm just going to swoop it down so it color blends. Not bringing too much of that army green in there. Awesome. Are you guys ready to see this one? I'm excited. Let's see how the color blend looks. Oh, it turned out gorgeous. Okay, you guys ready to see this one? So we have the beautiful oregano. I love it. A little bit lighter compared to the last. So that one might be in our middle of our garden. And then this one is parsley, which is a little bit more on the darker side. So I think we're going to blend it similar to how we did the basil. All right, just a couple times on a fuzz here. That's so sticky. Then we'll move our tacky towel out of the way for now. So we can do our last one. All right, we have parsley. Let's see where we are. Okay, perfect. These fit so perfect on these new tags. I am in just love with the tags. Remember, they're painted front and back side. They come with a little bit of jute, and they come in a 12 pack. These are probably one of my favorites so far that we've came out with. I like these a lot. Okay, so for the parsley, I think I'm just gonna go over a lot with the army green, and maybe just a smidgen of that magnolia, but mostly dark, especially the stem here. Maybe a little bit. I barely want that magnolia to show through here. Okay, let's go ahead and color blend. Oh, I love it. Okay. Now, just a smidgen of black, and these tags are going to be done. We're gonna hot glue them to our popsicle sticks. We'll stick them in there, and this project number 1 will be completed. Oh, this one is super cute, guys. I just love these. Okay, here is parsley. Here is that one. It looks so good. All right, so since we started out with basil and has had the most time to dry, I'm gonna start there for the popsicle sticks. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the heat gun out that I have sitting. And we're gonna go ahead and just give these a quick dry. Doesn't take long at all. I just don't wanna smear them as we turn them upside down. This looks so good. Let me grab this one. Now chalk paste in itself dries relatively quickly, and I like to help it along just a little bit, so we use a little bit of heat. If you do not have a heat gun, you could use a household hair dryer. If you blow dry your hair, it works the same way. Now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing these popsicle sticks, and I want your opinion. I had painted them a really dark color, or should we just use the natural? What do you guys think? I'm gonna hold it up with the basil. So I'm gonna go about an inch or so we could do the brown here, okay? Or we can leave it natural. I'm thinking the brown would make it pop just a little bit more. Yeah, I think so too, Heidi. A little bit more in the garden bucket. Now with the popsicle stick here, I'm just gonna go about an inch to hot glue. Now how I know that is I have our self-healing mat here, and it has it in inch blocks. So I know exactly how far to go up, and if you put it on the horizontal, you can actually tell which is the middle as well. So I'm going to put a big strip of glue going down to hold it into place. And I'm just going to hold the popsicle stick here for just a second to secure it down with our glue. How do you guys like the project so far? Are you inspired? Does this give you herb garden feel? Now, I'm doing this because it's, you know, I want to put it up on my mantle. But if you were to actually make an herb garden, you could, doing the same concept, and just putting dirt in here and actually having herbs grow in your herb garden. Even with your tags, so then you can space it out and you actually know. Especially if you're an indoor planter. Okay, so this one is good and dry. This one's our basil. Now you guys can see that is on a stick, and it is super cute. We're gonna go ahead and put it in here, but I wanna make sure that I get the width right. So I'm gonna wait until all of them are on here. I'm gonna do the same thing here, measuring. This little self-healing mat is the niftiest thing. One, it protects your work area. Okay. Two, if you tend to cut with it like a roller cutter, especially if you're a quilter sewer, it has self-healing fibers, so that is super cool. And I love it where you can eyeball your measurements very quickly. We're just holding this down, so then the oregano will be done. All right, so now here is the oregano on the stick. Super cute. So basil and oregano, and now then the last one is going to be that parsley. Let's make sure he should be good and dry by now. All right, same thing, just the middle, 1 inch up is what I'm doing here. Now I'm just holding them down. So I did 3 because these tags are so large. I just really wanted to make sure it wasn't congested in there. But I had a thought of doing maybe like 2 in the front and like 3 more in the back. And with the popsicle sticks, putting them a little like lower and higher to give it a little dimension, I think would be super cool. Hi Connie, welcome in. We are doing an herb garden today. Okay, so this one should be dry now. And we have our parsley. All right, so we have the parsley, the basil, and then the oregano. What do you guys think? I think it's so cute. These are stinking cute. Okay, so I'm gonna have our bucket here for our garden. It's gonna be towards you guys. And I'm gonna quickly find our foam. So I wanted to put it kind of in the middle. You guys hear me push it down a little bit, and see, it stays right in place since we use that foam block. Now, what I wanted to do, I'm gonna pull this out. I wanted the lighter color in the middle. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna move it a little bit. You guys can hear that foam. And then we're gonna put the parsley over here, I think, and where we did this other one, staggering it just a little behind. And then we're gonna do basil the same on this side. See about depth, I think it's about right there. I'm pushing it down just a little bit. Okay. Now, what do you guys think of our super cute little herb garden? You guys like this idea? I think it's really cute. It turned out exactly like I was hoping for it to. I think it is so cute. I love the little tags. Remember, they come in a 12-pack, so there's multiple uses. We use that vegetable garden to get our garden words. Some fake moss, a super cute bucket. You could even do this in like a galvanized little container with maybe like white chalk paste for the garden. I think that this one turned out adorable. Okay, so I want to show you one more idea that I'm going to put this off to the side even though I love it so much. On using the herbs, if you get the 5x5 quads, they fit these herbs perfectly. Now, if you guys remember back in October timeframe, I did a hanging Halloween sign. Now, I went ahead and I basically just painted over it and redid it. I love to reuse it for the season. So if it's like Valentine's, I'll probably just paint over it and do something for spring, and I just kind of keep going like that. These guys are super cool. You can even use the backside here, but I thought that it would be a little bit different from going from a white to doing a black. So we're gonna do a black background, and we're gonna use white paste, and I think it's just gonna bring a different element in here. My house theme is kind of white and black, and I plan on hanging these in my kitchen, okay? So this is what I came out with. I wanted it like rustic. I have some distressing going on. We sandpapered it a little, had a little bit of a darker, rougher look, because my house personally is like a farmhouse. So I think these are super cute just to hang them in your kitchen. You can also paint the backside if you're a seasonal person like I am. And I just think that they're so neat and so cool to use. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use the last 3 herbs. That was the sage, the dill, and the rosemary. And I'm just gonna use them in white, and I wanna see how they look, and I plan on hanging them in my kitchen. what are some ideas that you would use the herbs with? Do you like the 5x5 quads? You could do just a few of them and have them standing instead of hanging, because they also will sit perfectly all around your kitchen. What are some of the other ideas that you would do? I was thinking maybe even like maybe like a tote bag, but like a garden bag. If you have herbs outside that you can go and you snip and you clip and you can take them in, I think that would be kind of a cool idea. What other ones could you think of to use these on? Hanging them in like a 6, like 3 and 3 in your kitchen, like as a big decor space on your wall. I really like that idea too. So I'm just taking my time and I'm fuzzing all of these stencils because this will be the first time we use these ones. I'm just doing them all at one time too. All right, so I think we're good. I'm gonna use rosemary first. I'm just gonna put this one down. And I'm eyeballing it. Let me see if I can get it a little closer to me. I think I like it about there. Looks like it's in the middle. If you're very meticulous, grab yourself a ruler. You can measure up and across if you like it perfectly centered. I thought even using some of the greens on here would make it pop, like the Magnolia green. I think would be very beautiful on the black background. But I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna use white and I'm gonna clean off. Let's use this squeegee, it's a little bit easier. We had our brown from when we did our garden. I told you we had some extras somewhere. They were just hiding. Okay, so I'm just going to use, this is Brilliant White, and I think it will come out beautifully. What colors would you use on here, on the black background? Would you use white? Would you use maybe like a cream color, like a light brown? Would you use the greens? I like the idea of the white, so we'll see how that comes out. Okay, so here's our first one. We're gonna go ahead and peel it off. Oh, I love it. It kind of came out like a vintage look on there. Let me see if I can hold all of these. Should have done them all at once, but I want you to see. Look at that rosemary. That turned out really cute. I like that one. Okay, and then I'm going to do the other two first, and then I'll hold them up. All three at the end. Are you guys having a great time today? Are you feeling inspired? Giving you tons of tips and tricks to use with the herb stencil. It has to be one of my favorite ones that have came out this summer. Oop, let me bring that back. Speaking of summer and stencils or products, what was your favorite one that was released? Do you have a favorite? I think they were all so unique in their own space. I have tons of ideas that I want to use for them. I'm thinking about like a tray, a standing, almost like a living room tray with maybe the new eagle stencil for the upcoming Memorial Day, mixed in with maybe a little 4th of July. That one was really cute. The Freedom Minis came back in stock. Absolutely love those. Thinking maybe a banner, garland banner. Okay, there's dill, beautiful. And we have one more. All right, this one's sage. That looks just about right. All right, remember I'm just smoothing this down, no bubbles here. Just want to make sure that it's all sticky. That looks really good from this angle at least. Now let's go ahead and do the very last one. I thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you like the projects. Every Wednesday and Thursday you can catch us live on here, doing some sort of fun craft inspiration for you guys. It is probably, I have to say probably, it is the highlight of our week when we get on here and just chit chat and just be super creative. You know, we don't get that all the time. I love it. All right, here comes the stage part. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Okay, so I'm gonna hold these up and you guys can tell me what you guys think. I think they turned out super cute. I can never get the mirroring right on here, so you guys bear with me if it's more left to the right. But I think it turned out super cute with both of the projects. So we have the sage, the dill, and the rosemary. I'm gonna hang those in the kitchen. Super cute idea there. And then let me bring back our first project with the herb garden. I think that they both turned out super cute. Winner, I think, would have to be our little garden here. It's totally my favorite. Turned out super cute. Love the little vintage farmhouse feel to it. And I hope you guys did too. All right, guys, so we will be live next Wednesday with you guys, bringing tons of fun, and I hope to see you guys there. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. Bye, everyone.